Hi all, today on the bench I've got a Colt 485 Cybernet CB radio, and what I'm doing to it is just giving it a quick clean up, a quick refurb, and just going through making sure that there's nothing wrong with the radio as such. So basically I've tested it on air, put it on the service monitor here, and the receiver's really good, doing full power, no need to muck around and try and push it. The Cybernet boards, as you can see, yeah, they're a bit different to the Uniden boards, but really good boards. Cybernet and Uniden went head to head in the 70s and 80s, and then, well, it looks like Uniden finally won out. Most of the Cybernets were made in Japan. In fact, probably all of them were. It's a different type of design, with the infamous VCO blocks in them that have caused a fair bit of trouble over the years. But then again, the radio's 40 odd plus years old, and again with the Uniden radios, the same thing happens. You know, a lot of these capacitors were not designed, the tandem capacitors were not designed to last 40 years, so you will get failures. And that's why a lot of people say if you have trouble with the radios, the first thing you need to do is look at the caps. But sometimes that's not always the problem. Sometimes it can be a problem in the audio circuit, or in the finals, in the transistors. Somebody's forgot to put the old antenna in and pull the mic down and started talking away, and then all of a sudden the needle just goes bloop, and that's it, because they're usually done a transistor. So that's a common one. So we'll just go around and have a quick look at the board, make sure that everything's fine. I did have it on before, and I just go around and tap it. Usually I use the back of my paintbrush, obviously non-conductive, and I'll go through and make sure that there's no dry solder joints. The reason I use a big paintbrush, you can use, or I've got a toothbrush as well, but what I do is go along and I clean all the controls down, get all the gunk off them. There's a bit of fur and fur balls, I like to call them, in the controls, so I usually wipe them down. The Oxit, as everyone knows, is a really good cleaner for controls, so all the pots get a good spray out. Where are they? Yeah, just in there. The switches, I'll give a bit of spray of Deoxit, and through there of Deoxit as well. Usually make sure that all the pots are nice and clean, working freely. Sometimes they do get a bit sticky, so that's what I do there. So basically that's the radio without the bezel on. So what I've done, this came in pretty bad. You know, they're always going to have scratches on them. You know, surface scratches on the chrome, you know, that's a fait accompli, so to speak. Yeah, it's just the way that they were made. It's like a plastic chrome, not a real type of chrome as such, different type of process. Obviously been molded, and that it wouldn't be like the normal chrome. So yeah, so I do that. I give that a quick clean, give it a quick scrub up. Usually what I do is, there's my little cleaning station here. So all the control knobs go into here if I'm not doing the bezel, but if I am doing the bezel, obviously I'll take these out. A bit of warm water, and I just use a bit of dishwashing liquid and a bit of laundry powder, just a slight amount, and I fill both of these up, and I just let it soak for a while. Come back with a toothbrush, a fine toothbrush, don't use a coarse one. You can get a lot of surface scratches, so I always use a fine, which is this one here, fine bristled toothbrush, and yeah, just clean them up and let them dry out naturally. Just leave them outside for a little while. Put that back, put these back in. Yeah, so that's it. So I got the bezel there, bit of surface scratching on the lens, but nothing too major to worry about. So basically I do that. Now the lids came in, they were pretty bad, and you know, I've painted them before. You know, I'm not going to get them down to bare metal and make them look like brand new, because there's really no point. But what I will do is give them a good scuff down, make sure that any big gouges, I sand all those down. Here's the finished product here, as you can see, looks pretty good. On both I've put the speaker back in and done that. I haven't cleaned the inside. There's no real need to. There's a bit of surface stuff there. I'll wipe that down before I put it together. So as you can see, yeah, they come up pretty well, nice and shiny, as you see the service monitor there. And yeah, so I use, now depending on where you are, in Australia we've got Bunnings or Mitre 10, you know, America's got Home Depot and places like that. So the best paint I've found to use, and don't use the cheap stuff, the white and night or whatever they call it, and the other garbage that these places sell. I use this one, this Dulux Duramax semi-gloss enamel. It's satin black, so it will give you that satin black finish, and also it dries really fast. I mean, and it, by the time, you know, I've let this sit for about 5 hours, and yeah, it's rock solid. You'll get some paint and it's still soft, like enamel-y. The cheap paints, you get what you pay for. So for in Australia, these are about 13 bucks a can, or the US probably about $8. Probably a lot cheaper over there because a lot of you guys over there, obviously. So that's the paint I use. Really good. Give it a shake. Give it about, I give it one coat, sand it down, give it another coat, sand it down, and then I give it a nice third coat, and then I just let it sit for about 5-6 hours, and I come back. You know, it's fairly cool here at the moment. It's coming into Australia's winter. Yeah, and it's like rock solid. Obviously the mic, another thing with the mic, it's fairly dirty, so that's where I give it a bit of the old toothbrush clean, like that. And with any mics anyway, as soon as I get them, I've virtually disinfected them. You just don't know where they've been or whose mouth they've been on. I'm sure you'll all agree with that. So that's the mic for the Colt. And basically that's all I do. Virtually put the radio back together. It's really easy. I've cleaned it all, cleaned all the surfaces down, made sure everything's right. This just slides back on. Really easy. Not too much to worry about. And then you just go through and you just put all your screws back in. Hold it there as such. There we go. Yeah, so basically there's a radio there, and it's not too hard to do that. I'll just do it quickly just now for the camera, and I'll obviously put the cover back on and the stuff there. Give it a wipe, you know, give it a good wipe down and everything like that. As you can see, you know, I've gone from an ordinary looking radio, and once we put all the control knobs back on, channel selector, yeah, it's amazing what, I don't know, half an hour's work and a little bit of elbow grease, not too much, and it's amazing what you can do. I'll pull this apart. I'm just doing this for now. I've obviously got the speakers to be connected back up, and I'm going to clean the inside of that. So it's not too hard to get a radio that was, well, look really ordinary on the outside anyway, you know, and all of a sudden you have got a very good radio. Like, it's never going to be like brand new, because it can't be. But as you can see, all the surfaces are nice and clean. You know, the paint's rock solid. You know, it's great paint, that Dulux paint. I thoroughly recommend it. Yeah, and I'll just go through. As I said, all the switches have been cleaned up, and it works really well. If I get a chance, I might do a little feature video of this, all hooked up and running. But as I said before, it's come up really nice. I like these the blackface type radios. Yeah, they've just got a good look to them, haven't they? All right, I hope you liked this video. I've got plenty more to come. Please give me the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and maybe I'll catch you on air one day. 73s for now.